Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is day 63 of my journey to learn Japanese, and the purpose of this series of live streams is to document my progress at learning Japanese, having started as a complete beginner. And my goal for today is to practice some more kanji and then maybe also do some reading practice. So let's make a start. We're looking at the Lingo Command website here, which is what I've been using to learn Japanese. And if we go to start now, and then we go to Japanese, of course, what I want to practice here is my vocabulary, in particular the kanji for that. So I'm going to go to the vocab section like so. And in the previous live stream, I was studying the hiragana, katakana, and kanji for the locations topic. So let's press that. And I'm just going to set up the stream configuration here. Yeah. And basically what we have on screen here is a table with the English words in the left column and the Japanese words in the right column. And if we want to know how the word is pronounced, we can press here to do so.
パン屋、
So up the volume a little bit.
映画館、病院、
And of course, as you may have noticed, this Japanese here is written in Romaji, but at a click of a button, we can view that in hiragana and katakana, or even hiragana, katakana, and kanji. So what I want to do is practice the kanji. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the quiz, and I basically took that table and turns it into a series of questions that are posed in English, and then we submit our answer in hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Now, I also want to practice the stroke order. So I'm going to select handwrite answer. And then I'm also going to apply random ordering. What that does is it scrambles the order in which the questions are asked to basically keep us on our toes, because if you do a quiz over and over, sometimes you get used to the order in which the questions are asked, and this way you really test your Japanese fully. So let's make a start here. So when we press here, we get this Photoshop looking component in which we can handwrite our answer. And park in Japanese, well, that's koen, and there are two kanji, but I do not recall which kanji they are. So there's one here, and then there's one there. And if we write the furigana here in blue, so I think this kanji has a reading of ko, the U here, and then this one has a reading of N. So let's take a look. Okay, so that the readings were correct. This one has 4 strokes, and this one has a total of 13. Okay, so this has 4 strokes, that has 13. 13. I think what I'll do here is I'll kind of pan down, and then I'm gonna practice this. So the first kanji, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth stroke's a bit wider. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's coming back to me now. Yeah, the stroke order was correct. So let's, for the sake of kind of building that muscle memory, let's do this from scratch. So park in Japanese, well, that's koen. Koen. And the kanji with the reading of ko, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the kanji with the reading of N, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're running out of space here. We've got to make this a little bit more compact. So let's try that again. So that's the 8th stroke. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. And this kanji here with 4 strokes is a reading of ko. So let's write the furigana. That's the reading of the kanji in hiragana. So this is ko, and we put a U there. Ko. N. So that's an E, that's an N. So we'll submit that. Okay, that looks in order to me. That looks correct. So we'll give that a pass, and we'll proceed to the next question. So cinema in Japanese, well, that's eigakan. Eigakan. And let's try and recall the kanji for this. So I think that there was the kanji with the reading of ga. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kanji with the reading of kan. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. And then let's pan a little bit to the left here because this is the part that I'm struggling with. What's the kanji with the reading of A? So this is 8 strokes. That's 13. I'll have to look at this kanji. I think I don't quite recall it. That's frustrating. Okay, so this kanji, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is 9 strokes. And we'll classify this, of course, as incorrect because I took a look at the hint or show answer here. But we're gonna write our readings above the kanji. So this kanji is read as A. So we write E, and then we write I. And then this is ga. So we write ka. Apply dakuten, K goes to G, so this becomes ga. And then we'll pan a little bit this way, and we'll write kan here. So this is kan. Let's zoom out, show it like this. And there's one thing that I want to point out here as well. So this was something that went wrong yesterday. So when you write kan, the first 8 strokes is this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then, okay, there are 8 more strokes. But when you write taberu, which is to eat in Japanese, that kanji, the kanji with the reading of ta in taberu, it looks just like this, but it's got 9 strokes. So I'm just gonna discuss that briefly. So it's 7 strokes, then it's 8, 9. So you can see how easy it is to mix these two up. But this is what you need when you write ta in taberu, which is to eat. And then this is the first part for kan, which is that kanji in eigakan. So anyways, let's undo all of this, submit our answer. Okay, so this all looks correct to me. Now, of course, we classify this incorrect because we took a look at the answer for the first kanji. And then we're on to bakery. So bakery, it's panya. This one's a little bit unusual in the sense that we're actually writing a mix of katakana and kanji. So pan, and it does make sense, right? Because pan presumably means bread, from the French word bread, which is what they make at a bakery. That's my reasoning at least. So this is ha, and we apply handakiten, which is the circle. H becomes P, so ha becomes pa. And then we write an N here. And then we have this kanji with the reading of ya. So it's 1, 2, 3. No, hold on now. It's 1, 1, 2, 3. And then here's where it gets tricky. There are like a couple more strokes. Let's take a look. So it's 9 strokes in total. It's going to be a nightmare to remember. So it's 4, 5, 6, and then it's 7, 8, 9. I think the way that I'm going to try and remember this is, this is always easy to remember. So it's, actually I say that, but I'm doing it in the wrong stroke order. So okay, this is the first stroke, that's the second, that's the third. Then it's 4, 5, 6, And then, for example, there's this one kanji. It has a reading of do in doyobi, at least Saturday. Looks like that. And that's what the last 3 strokes are here as well. So just remember that, because even the stroke order is a match, to get this kanji with the reading of ya. So let's do this one more time. Bakery is panya. This has a ha, applied dakuten to get pa. Then we have an N here. This is in katakana. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I need some type of mnemonic, some type of way to remember this. So I'm going to say there are 9 strokes, and we're going to go to the bakery on Saturday. Saturday is doyobi. This kanji here, or these 3 strokes, are just like the kanji for do in doyobi. So all of that combined should help. Now, of course, we took a look at the answer, so we'll classify that as incorrect. And we'll go to station. So this one should be no problem, because station is eki in Japanese. And what you do here is you're going to write the kanji for horse. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's horse. And then you write 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And so this is, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 14 strokes in total. And let's just submit our answer. So this is ki. Fantastic. We got a match here, 14 strokes. So now we'll go to school. So school is gakko. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the kanji with the reading of ga with sokon at the end. And then here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I just remember there's 9 and 10 here. So that means there are like 4 kanji up here. What could this be? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't quite remember. There are 4 strokes here. Let's just write our furigana. So this is ka with dakuten becomes ga. And then we need a half-sized tsu. And then this is ko, like so. Ah, that was it. Okay, so we basically just have this, kind of looks like roku. Roku. So we'll do that again, just to get the muscle memory. Ga, ko. The kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a reading of ga, and then this has a reading of ko. Cool. We took a look at the answer, so we'll classify that as incorrect. And then we're on to restaurant. So that's restaurant. The kanji for that, well, there are none. It's actually katakana, my bad. So it's clearly a loan word, so we're going to write in katakana. This is re, su, to, ra, restaurant. Hotel is hoteru. And that's once again a loan word, so we're going to write katakana. So this is ho, te, ru. Library, well, that one we know now. I've done this quite a few times. So that's toshokan. Shokan. Kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. For a total of Toshokan. And let's just put the readings here. So this is the kanji with the reading of To. This is Sho, so we're going to write a yun combination, half-sized yo. And then this is the kanji with the reading of Kan. For a total of Toshokan. Fantastic. So we'll give that a pass. And then we're on to hospital. So hospital is Byoin. And there are two kanji here. Problem is, I don't recall them. I just know that this one has 10. This one has 10 strokes. And then this has a reading of Byo. So we're going to write Hi. That becomes Bi when you apply Dakiten. Put half-sized Yo. And then a U as well. And then this is In. But what's the kanji? So I think here it's 1, 2, 3. And then 7 strokes there. As for this, I just do not recall. Let's take a look at the answer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pan down. And we'll just write that. So maybe I can remember from memory now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we missed this stroke. So let's do that again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the kanji with the reading of Byo. And then the kanji with the reading of In, it's 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, let's do that one more time. So we'll start from the top. So hospital in Japanese is Byo-in. Now there are two kanji. Both of them have 10 strokes. So the first one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, think this through. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew, there we go. And then the next kanji, it's 1, 2, 3. This goes down a bit further. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So this is two kanji, 10 strokes each, and this has a reading of Byo. So this is Hi, we apply Dakiten, we get B. And then we write a half-sized Yo, so we know that we're dealing with the yun combination. So this is not Bi-yo, it's a blended syllable, Byo. We just stick a U here. And then we'll pan over here and write the reading here. So this is In. So this kanji, it's read as In. That's the I, that's the N. So let's submit our answer. So that's a match. Now, of course, earlier we took a look at the answer, so we'll classify that as incorrect. But this one, it's no problem. It's Super. And that's a loan word. So we're going to write this in katakana. Loan words are written in katakana. So this is Su. And then this extends the vowel sound. So it's not Su, it's Su. And then here we're going to write Ha. We apply handakuten, that's the circle. H becomes P when you do that. So Ha becomes Pa. And then once again, we extend the vowel sound. And we see that's a match. Fantastic. So what I want to do now is I want to do one more round. Let's try and cement this in our mind. So this is Eigakan. And the kanji with the reading of A, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, the strokes are correct, but this needs to be a little bit higher. Let's try that one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that looks good. And then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to check the stroke order. So it's 1, 2, 3. I think this vertical line is the fourth stroke. And then this one we kind of know by now. So it's 16 strokes in total. This is the kanji with the reading of kan. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. So let's zoom out, give ourselves a bit of space, and we'll write the reading. So this kanji has a reading of A. This has a reading of ga. So this is ka. We apply dakuten to get ga. And then this has a reading of kan. Okay, this is great. So this does indeed have the fourth stroke being this vertical line. Yeah, that's another match. That's a match. So that's great. And we'll proceed to the next question, which is toshokan. Toshokan. So this kanji, well, there are three. So the first one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just want to clean up the shape a little bit. It's more like this. Okay, so that's the kanji with the reading of to. The kanji with the reading of sho, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this remains the same, of course. This kanji with the reading of kan. It's just like the one for cinema. By the way, it basically means like a building, a castle, a home, or a house. Think of it as a building. So, of course, a library is a type of building, and so is the cinema. So that's basically what's going on there. Now, this is a reading of to. This is a reading of sho. This is a reading of kan, for a total of toshokan. Perfect. This is supermarket, which is super. So we're going to write this in katakana, of course, because it's a loan word. So that's su. Extend the vowel sound here. This is ha with dakuten becomes pa. And then this is restaurant. So let's write that once again in katakana. Restaurant. There we go. And then we've got station. So station is eki in Japanese. So we're going to start off with this horse radical. That's because historically, stations used to be, I guess, full of horses. So that's the horse kanji. And then we're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a bit extreme there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this, of course, is a reading of eki. It's one kanji, by the way, not two. Ki. Yeah, that looks correct to me. And then bakery, well, that's panya. And this time I'm prepared because, of course, the pan is in katakana. And then the kanji with the reading of ya. So just to explain, bakery in Japanese is panya. And pan means bread in French. So I guess, bakeries, they produce bread. amongst other things. So that's where this comes from, this pan in katakana. And then the kanji with the reading of ya, it's looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But actually, the 7th line connects here. 7. Oh no, wait. 7, 8, 9. So this vertical line is the 8th stroke here. So let's zoom out, and we'll just write the reading of this kanyas of this kanji. So this has a reading of ya, right? So let's submit that. So yeah, this looks in order to me. This looks correct. Our 9 strokes are also correct, so we'll give that a pass. I'm going to proceed to the next question. So hospital in Japanese, that's byoin. And that has 2 kanji. So the first one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, what helps me remember this a little bit is that this has 10 strokes. This next one will also have 10 strokes. Looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what also helps is, for example, this cluster here, it's 1, 2, 3. That comes up over and over in kanji. So sometimes you group these strokes in your mind to kind of make it a bit more simple. In any case, so this has a reading of byo. So this is heat with dakuten becomes bi. We've got a half-sized yo to form the yun combination, and we add a u here. So this has a reading of byo, and then this has a reading of in, byoin. So that looks correct. That also looks correct. The readings about the kanji is correct. So now we can move on to school. So school is gakko. Let's see if we remember the kanji. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, these last 3 strokes also appear quite often, so that helps kind of help you remember that. And then this, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a reading of ga. So that's ka with dakuten. And then there's soko on here at the end of this kanji. So that's a half-sized tsu that you don't pronounce. It acts as a beat of silence and then places extra emphasis on the K in ko here. Hence this double K. So yeah, that looks correct. So we'll give that a pass. And then we'll proceed to the next question. So park is koen. Oh no, what is this? I don't remember this. So it's 2 kanji. Let's come back to this. And let's do hotel first. So this is hoteru. Clearly a loan word, so we're going to be using katakana. So this is ho. This is te. And this is ru. For a total of hoteru.
ホテル、
So the question is, what is park? Koen. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, so obviously I'll classify it's incorrect. I'm going to take like a 2-second look at the answer and then see if that jogs my memory even for the stroke order. Yeah, okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a reading with ko. And then here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, let's clean this up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Didn't leave enough space here, so I have to really want to do this in the correct stroke order. So I'm going to make this very high to kind of give myself enough space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. Finally, we managed to fit everything in. So this has a reading of ko, and this has a reading of n, e, n. Let's clean this up a little bit. There we go. Now, of course, we took a look at the answer very briefly to jog our mind for what this was. So we'll classify that as incorrect. I think what I need to do is I clearly know the kanji. I'm just not associating it with the word park. So how do I do that? Maybe I could think of this as some type of tree. And then this is like, or maybe I just need to know the individual kanji, like what are they? So that's what we could do. We can go to Google and say, what is meaning of this kanji? Public, official, governmental, or formal. Okay. And then what about this one? Garden, park. Okay, so that's useful. I think knowing also the meaning of the individual kanji will help me a little bit. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this basically means public or like government. And then this means garden or park for a total of park. So I think knowing the individual meanings is definitely going to help. So yeah, that concludes the locations topic. Now I think what I'd like to do is practice this verbs 1 topic. There are a couple here that I always forget. Now in particular, neru, which is to sleep, always trips me up. So this has 13 strokes. Okay. Let's give this a go. So I'm going to apply random ordering that scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. I'm going to handwrite my answers. What that does is that way we can like check our stroke order. So to be permanent in Japanese, well, that's aru. Aru. And that has no kanji. So we're just going to write this in hiragana. Ru. Ru. And then to place, well, that's oku. And the kanji for that, it's the kanji of the reading of o. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this has a reading of o. And then this has a reading of, sorry, this is just ku in hiragana for a total of oku. Now, one thing that's improved as well is like this 13th stroke, I used to write it all the way up here. I've been kind of making sure that its placement is correct. Even here it could be a bit lower, but it's heading in the right direction, I would say. Now, to be able to is dekiru. Dekiru. And that only has hiragana. So this is te. We apply dakuten to get de. This is ki. And that's ru. Dekiru. Notice that I'm leaving this little gap here. That's the handwritten form of ki, whilst this is the typed version that we're seeing here. Iru. So this only has hiragana, so that's I, ru. To have in Japanese, well, that's motsu. And that looks like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This has a reading of mo. And then we put tsu in hiragana here for a total of motsu. Now that katakana, or sorry, that tsu is a little bit too slanted. That's better. So this is correct. Fantastic. We'll give that a pass. And then we're on to o. So to o in Japanese, well, that's shinakeru ba. Shinakeru ba. Shi. So this has no kanji, so it's just hiragana, which is nice. Shinakeru. And then this is ha. We applied dakuten to get ba for a total of shinakeru ba. And then we're on to believe. So to believe is shin, ji, ru. So this has 9 strokes. It's 1, 2. And then this is this radical that kind of comes up over and over in verbs. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, this is a reading of shin. So we're going to write that here. Let's zoom in. Shin. It's a little bit cramped. And then here we're just going to write shi. We apply dakuten to get ji. And we'll zoom out one more time, give ourselves a bit more space. And then this is ru. Let's clean that up a little bit. Okay, so that's shinjiru, which means to believe. To go in Japanese, well, that's iku. That looks like this. So the kanji, the reading of I, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a reading of I, and then we just stick ku at the end here in hiragana. Fantastic. We'll give that a pass and proceed on to arrive. So to arrive in Japanese, that's kuru. Kuru. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has a reading of ku. And then this is a reading of ru. Sorry, it doesn't have a reading of ru. It's just ru in hiragana at the end here. So it's kuru. Okay, so that indeed has 7 strokes. Stroke order also looks correct, so I'll give that a pass. And then we're on to ko. So to ko in Japanese, that's yobu. And I've struggled with this kanji over and over, but I think today's the day. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this mouth radical here at the beginning, it's too large. So let's make it a bit smaller. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So this has a reading of yo. And then here we're going to write fu. We applied dakuten to get bu for a total of yobu. Yobu. Fantastic. That's another pass. Yeah. And then we're on to see. So to see in Japanese, that's miru. And that looks like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This kanji is a reading of mi. And we put ru here for a total of miru. And then to want, well, that's hoshi. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10, 11. 10, 11. There we go. So this, a little bit sore. This has a reading of whole. And then we just write shi here in hiragana. Hoshi. Hoshi. Great, so that's a match. So we'll give that a pass. And now we're on to understand. So to understand, well, that's rikai suru. And the kanji of the reading of rikai, well, the kanji of the reading of ri, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the kanji of the reading of ri. And then the kanji of the reading of kai, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this has a reading of ri. This has a reading of kai. And then we just stick suru at the end here. Rikai. Golly, what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna pan a little bit this way and zoom in. That's better. So just to explain what's going on here, so we have these two kanji, rikai. That means understanding or comprehension. It's a noun. It's a thing. And when you stick suru at the end, that turns the noun into a verb. So rikai is comprehension. Rikai suru is to comprehend, right? Or to understand. And suru, I believe, means to do. So I guess it's like to do comprehension. Perhaps like that's the kind of the grammar. But this is a pattern that you'd see in Japanese over and over. Just kind of wanted to point that out. Now to find, well, that's mitsukeru. And the kanji for that, well, it's the same as the one for miru. So the first kanji here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a reading of mi. And then it's tsukeru. Yeah. Now to make is tsukuru. So that looks like this. The kanji is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a reading of tsuku. And we put ru at the end. Now to give in Japanese, that's ageru. That's only hiragana, fortunately. So it's a, ke, with dakuten becomes ge, ru. And then to say or tell, well, that's iu in Japanese. So we write this kanji here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That has a reading of i. And then this is u. Now to read in Japanese, well, that's yomu. The kanji for that, it's got a lot of strokes. It's 1, 2. So this shape comes up over and over. It's, I think, some type of radical, surely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you start off there, and then it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This has a reading of yo. And then we put mu here. So let's submit our answer. Let's take a look. No, that's so unfortunate. Okay, so this is not quite right. I'm getting this mixed up, I think, with the kanji for byoin, right? So let's go to a new tab. I'll show you what I mean. So if we go to locations and we look at the kanji for hospital, we can see here that this is one horizontal line, another, and then these two, which is basically the exact same thing. These two strokes here at the bottom are the same, but you don't have, that's basically what I wrote here. That's what I wrote here. But what we want instead is these two strokes and then this. So, okay. Let's redo this. We'll classify it as incorrect, but I want to get that muscle memory. So yomu, it's this radical that comes up over and over again, 7 strokes. And then it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I got to kind of remember that there's a gap here. This is a reading of yo. Yo. And then this is mu. Cool. So that's incorrect because we took a look at the answer, and now we're on to taberu, to eat. So the kanji with the reading of ta, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I want to clean this up a little bit. That's 8, 7, 8, 9. There we go. That has a reading of ta. And then here we're going to write be. So that's head with dakuten. Ru. Taberu. Okay, great. So we'll give that a pass, and then we're on to come. So that's the same as to arrive. They're both kuru. The kanji for that, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has a reading of ku. Hi. Hi, Pei LMAO. How are you doing today? Okay, so sorry if you messaged earlier. I was so locked in on the studying that I didn't notice your message. Okay, so the kanji with the reading of shiru. I always forget this. Why is that? Let's come back to that one. We'll do to put on. So to put on in Japanese, that's tsukeru. Tsukeru. And this just has hiragana, I think. So it's tsukeru. Fantastic. And then to sleep, well, that's neru. Oh, the kanji for this is kind of crazy. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Oh, I'm so close with this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it has 13 strokes in total, but I'm not too sure about this here. Maybe it's that, but I don't think it is. 11, 12, 13. Let's just put that, but that's one of these strokes is off. This is a reading of ne, and then we put ru here for a total of neru. Okay, so this top part wasn't quite right, and then we do have this extra stroke here, so it was 13 strokes in total. Let's just repeat that. We'll classify as incorrect, but to get that muscle memory. Oh no, please write any comments that I can multitask. So please feel free to write any comments. Okay, so let's lock in here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this has a reading of ne. And then this has a reading of ru. Cool. We'll classify that as incorrect, of course, because we took a look at the answer. And then this is suru. This is very straightforward. This just has hiragana, suru. And then to speak or talk, well, that's hanasu. And the way that I kind of remember this is when you're speaking or talking, you've got conversation. I think this is the mouth radical. And this hanasu, it has two mouth radicals. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12, 13. There we go. Notice the two mouth radicals. So this has a reading of hana. And then we put su at the end for a total of hanasu, which is to speak or talk. So yeah, that looks correct to me, these 13 strokes. So that then just leaves us with to know. By the way, I was wondering, Pei LMAO, have you been studying Japanese for a while? What's your background with studying Japanese, if you don't mind me asking? So this is shiru, but what's the kanji? I keep forgetting, that's horrible. Okay. It's got 8 strokes, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that has a reading of shi. Put ru there. Now, of course, we took a look at the answer, so we'll classify that as incorrect. 4 years ago and did a total of 20 months of studying. So 20 months of studying, that's, I guess, 2 years of serious studying. And then, wow, that's a lot of time and dedication. That's really cool. Okay, so we've got 3 wrong here. I think what I'll do is I'll focus on a different topic now. Come back to this later. So why don't I do animals? So we're going to do this in hiragana, katakana, and kanji. We'll handwrite our answers, apply random ordering, and make a start. So this is fish, which is sakana. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll zoom out here. And this has a reading of course, sakana. So we'll write that here in blue. Sa, ka, na. So let's submit our answer. Our furigana is correct. Stroke order is also correct, so we'll give that a pass. And then we'll proceed to dog. So dog is inu. Inu. And this kanji is very simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has a reading of inu. Hi, this guy 1328. O sashiburi, I think is the... Yeah, so let's just take a quick look at this guy 1328 comment. I think that this kanji is a reading of sa, so this is o sashiburi desu ne. So I guess, okay, long time no see. And then I don't really know what this is. Chan, something chan, I guess. Chanto, don't know this part. Yo ni nari mashita desu yo ka. A little bit too advanced for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google Translate. put this in. It's been a long time, big brother. Have you gotten better at reading Japanese? Yeah, I've made some progress. I've learned a lot of kanji as I've been studying. And I've lost track of the chat that's here. Actually, talking about reading Japanese, I've only very recently started trying to decipher like whole sentences. Chiwasu. Just want to put that in Google Translate as well. Hi there. I see. Os. Oh, I see. Okay, so you guys were greeting each other in Japanese. That's cool. So talking about reading, basically I've built this tool in the reading and listening section, and you can basically view this conversation in Japanese at a paragraph or sentence level. So this is for paragraphs, that's for sentences. And so here we've got it in Romaji, and here we've got the English translation. But what we can, of course, do is we can hide this content here, and then we can take some notes even. So this is in Romaji, but of course, we've learned hiragana and katakana. So let's format it like that. And basically, I spent, I think, a total of an hour and a half on stream trying to decipher the grammar of what's going on here in this first sentence. And what I want to do is basically just keep breaking down sentences, and as I acquire grammar that way, hopefully my proficiency will increase. I guess just a super brief recap. So this is Aiko, which is like a girl's name. San, I guess, is some honorific. And then this is wa, which is the topic marker. So from what I understand, that basically marks Aiko-san as the topic of the sentence. And then hon is a book. Yomu is to read, right? And oh, actually, o is a like a subject marker. So it says that, you know, we're doing the reading to the book. So this basically just means reading books. And then koto, if I remember correctly, was a nominalizer, and basically daisuki is an adjective, and adjectives describe nouns. So basically, hon o yomu is a verb phrase, so we need to turn that into a noun phrase, and that's why we have this koto here, which turns reading books, I guess, literally into the act of reading books. So this basically means Aiko-san really likes reading books. Now, we've explained the koto, we've explained this, we explained wa, but what's this ga? So ga is a marker to basically explain that daisuki is acting upon hon o yomu koto, which is the act of reading books. And then this de, it connects to clauses in a sentence, but you use de instead of something else when this is like an I adjective, or is this a not adjective? So what I was using previously on stream was I was using DeepSeek to basically ask questions about all of this grammar. So if I put this back here, we can ask, so we'll open a new tab, because at the moment you cannot copy any of the text below the where you're taking the notes. So all you need to do is just open a new tab, you go to reading and listening. Let's kind of format it in the same way. Hiragana and katakana with spacing. And so this daisuki, we can ask a question actually about this whole sentence. Is daisuki a na adjective or a I adjective? and also the de connects the two clauses, but you use it for one type of adjective, right? Explain. Okay, so daisuki is a not adjective despite ending in an I. And de doesn't indeed connect clauses. Yeah, okay, here we go. So let's just take a note of that. So we'll clean this up, and we'll basically say this is indeed a daisuki. And I like to put my romaji in quotes so that we sort of know what's Japanese, what's English. So daisuki is a na adjective despite ending in I. And we'll put a circle around the de. That was not part of the plan. Wait, let's turn this back to red. Okay. Put a new text box here in purple and say de connects clauses in Japanese. By the way, sorry, I noticed your comments, guys. I'll get to them in just a second. De connects clauses in Japanese. We use it when there is a not adjective. For I adjective, you use kutsu. Was it kutsu or kute? Kute. And of course, this is Japanese, so we'll put quotes. And then I want to put a circle around the de, of course. So there we go. So I'm just taking a look at the chat here. Reading very, very much is important. Hi, so desu ne. Thank you. I'll make sure to keep practicing the reading. And you're saying, I noticed you earlier noticing radicals in specific kanji parts. It would probably be worthwhile learning those specific radicals commonly found to increase your kanji recall. Thank you. So I've kind of done some research about, is it worth like learning the radicals and then doing the kanji parts? And a lot of people say yes, but I'm hoping to sort of naturally acquire these radicals or kind of pick them up. But I think as I'll keep learning, perhaps, I'll get to a point where I'm like, oh, actually, I really do need to learn these radicals and go back to it. So thank you so much. That's something I'll take, I'll keep in mind. Now, I cannot quite read this guy 1328's comment, so let's go to Google Translate and put that in here. Daisuki is an adjectival noun. Okay. Cool. And then so desu ne is what Pei Almeo wrote. I adjectives generally end with I vowels, not necessarily other I syllables. For example, furui. Okay, so that's actually, I guess let's take some notes on what you guys are saying. So not adjective is same as an adjectival noun. Thank you so much, both of you. And then I adjectives end in, and we'll write romaji or hiragana here because otherwise this doesn't really make sense. It ends in I. Often, not kana which end in an I. For example, we can put Yeah, so for example, daisuki ends in ki. So this is one of those things, I guess, where, in Japanese, because they come in this consonant vowel pairs, this makes more sense. So, adjectives end in I often, not kana, which end in an I, for example. Okay, so I think that gets the point across. Do I adjectives end in I, not ki or ni, etc.? Let's see what it says. Very sharp observation. Yes, all I adjectives in their dictionary form, present affirmative, end with the hiragana I. However, that final I is always preceded by a consonant sound. Not every word ending in I is an I adjectives. Okay. So kire ends in an I, but it's a not adjective. But it is true that all I adjectives end in I. Okay, cool. Awesome. So that was a little bit of revision for this first part of this sentence. I guess let's go to the next one. So from what I remember, jimoto means local area. Toshokan means library, of course, and we know the kanji for that now, which is kind of cool. So because of our kanji practice, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, by the way, I should start counting from scratch when writing the new kanji. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this here has 16 strokes. It's not my best handwriting, but toshokan. Anyways, no is a marker that turns jimoto, like local area or hometown, it turns it into the adjective local. So this basically becomes local library. And then yasuragi means tranquility, which is a noun. Kokoro means heart. And then this once again turns heart into like a noun or an adjective that describes the tranquility. And I guess this is kind of a bit of an idiom. Define idiom. A group of words established by usage as having meaning not deducible from their individual parts. Yeah, so let's just see if ChatGPT agrees. So kokoro no yasuragi, would that be considered a Japanese idiom? It's a common natural collation, a frequent word combination that follows standard Japanese grammar. Okay, so it's still not considered an idiom. Okay, it's a set phrase. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Yeah, I think my approach is like I'd rather take ages to try and break down one sentence, but then I guess make progress that way. So let's put this in green. So this is a set phrase. And then to is it's a connector. It's like and, but you use it when you're talking about nouns. So when it's one noun and then the next noun, you use to. And of course, tanoshii is fun as in the adjective, but then when you remove the I, because tanoshii is a I adjective, so when you remove the I, you get the stem, I guess, of the adjective, and then when you stick sa, that now makes it like a noun. So let's just check. So tanoshi is a I adjective. When you remove I, you get the stem of the adjective, and adding sa turns that into a noun. Is that right? Japanese idioms are very famous. They have a whole dictionary for them. I see. Yes, you're exactly right. Okay, so an adjectival stem. Cool. By the way, just in case you're wondering, like, where does this Japanese come from? What I did was I just made up a story in English myself, and then spent hours using like AI and cross-verifying everything to basically do the translation. And then, of course, if there are any mistakes, I'll make corrections. But that's basically how I came up with this. So this is a noun. That's a noun. Do you want to know some? I'd love to. I'll just try and finish this one sentence first, if that's okay. But then I will definitely like to learn some set phrases. Yeah, so mitsuketemasu, that's mitsukete, or sorry, mitsuketeru is the dictionary form of the verb to find. When you take the, no, it's mitsukeru. That's it. That's the root form. Just take out the root to get mitsuke. Then te is like a glue to connector, upon which we apply imasu. Now you could put iru, but that's informal. Imasu is formal. And that basically means that the verb is ongoing. So this is like finding instead of like found or to find. And this is a subject marker, basically denoting that the finding is happening to the inner peace and fun. So all in all, this is Aiko-san loves reading books, or really likes to read books. Oh, this de is a location marker. So this is local library. When you put the de, it becomes at the local library. And then it's basically she finds inner peace and enjoyment. Cool. So that's the first sentence broken down. I think actually as a goal for this stream, I want to break down this next sentence. I'm noticing that you wrote some Japanese, pay LMAO. I just want to see if I can read that as well. Nihonji desu, Nihonjin desu ka? Okay, so that's cool. Janai desu. Oh, that means you're not, I think. So yeah, let's try and break this down. So we're gonna have to use a lot of like DeepSeek to figure this out. So we have maishu. Does that mean every? Does maishu mean every? Oh, every week. Okay, so every week. Doyobi. Oh, doyobi of course means Saturday. So let's put that in maybe like blue. This is the thing. So when a text box is active, you can change the color. So fine. We'll highlight this in blue, And then this, of course, means Saturday. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's cool. So we know some kanji for Saturday. So every Saturday. So this, I guess, means more like weekly. But together, I guess it would mean every Saturday. And then this is no asa. Asa means morning, I think. So put, and I'll definitely like fact check this. I'm doing it again. So this means, we'll put that in, what color do we want? Maybe green? Morning. And so what I want to do now is just ask a question about this clause, because we see the comma here. That's a Japanese comma. So this is every Saturday morning, and every Saturday is a noun, and we use no to turn every Saturday into an adjective so that it can describe the morning. Is that right? Because that's a pattern that I've noticed before. So, okay, this basically means every week. This is Saturday. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, cool. So we've kind of broken down this first part. And then it's kanojo wa. So kanojo just means, I think, like a woman or girl. Is that what that means? So we'll put a text box here, and we'll say kanojo means woman. What does kanojo mean? Okay, so it means she or her, or it means girlfriend. Clearly, it's not girlfriend here. So we're using it as the pronoun she or her. And I want this text to be, let's say, this color. And then I'm just going to highlight kanojo, put that there. Cool. So wa is topic marker. We don't need to worry about that, because now basically it's just saying she is the topic of the sentence. Tsuki no bouken. So let's try and figure that out. Here, I think we've got the same usual pattern where tsuki is a noun, bouken is a noun, and this no is turning this into an adjective, so it describes the second noun. The question is, what are the words? Explain this. The next adventure. Tsugi means next. Bouken means adventure. Tsugi. I was saying tsuki. Tsugi, because of course we noticed the dakuten on the K here. And I've heard that in anime, yeah, tsugi. It's like next. Okay, so we'll take a note of that in orange. Or maybe we'll pick this color. I like this color. So tsugi means next. boken means adventure. Tsugi no boken means next adventure. I think that's what's going on here. So we'll just highlight that like this. Maybe put a circle around it, and then we can put an arrow there. So let's just go back to the beginning. So every Saturday morning, her next adventure, and then it's ya kyomi bukai. Does that mean interesting? No, I want to highlight that in a different color. Kyomi bukai. Yeah, I think that means interesting. So let's give that a go. Kyomi bukai means interesting. Kyomi bukai mean interesting. Cool. Manabi o sagashite. Now, actually, I think I know what's going on here because sagasu, I think, is finding. Let's just open a new Lingo command tab and we'll go through the verbs list because saga. Okay, so sagasu is to look for. Sagasu, let's look at the kanji. To look for, it's this kanji. So then if we view Lingo commands, second sentence in hiragana, katakana, and kanji, we just want to know, does this kanji appear there? No, not quite. Okay, so we're kind of jumping ahead a bit too much here. So I think what we'll do is we'll just highlight this one sentence and see what DeepSeek has to say. So, kanojo tsuki no boken ya kyomi bukai. Let's put this whole thing in here. Explain what manabi means and sagashite. Yeah, so it is the same verb. It does appear it is the same word. Thank you. Okay. I think what's going on here is there's a lot of moving parts with this sentence. So let's try and break it down step by step. So manabi means learning or something's learned. Oh yeah, because manabu is the I've learned this. This is you're joking. It's starting to make sense. Look, if we zoom in, that kanji is the first kanji in gakko. Yes. And of course you learn at a school. So maybe it's like learning house or something. Okay, so this now becomes the learning, the act of learning. So we've taken off bu, added on bi, and now it's gone from to learn to learning or the act of learning. So let's talk about manabu is the root of the verb mana, and then adding bi at the end turned it into a noun. No, the root of manabu is not mana, and adding bi does not turn it into a noun. You've identified a surface pattern, but the historical linguistics work differently. So I'm just completely off. Yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle. So manabu is a single verb root. It does not break cleanly into mana and bu in modern Japanese grammar. However, historically, manabu is believed to come from blah, 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 blah. How manabi is actually formed. Now manabi comes from the stem of the root form of manabu. Goldan verbs ending in bu. Asobu, yobu. Yobu means to call, and asobu, I know this one. What is asobu? Oh yeah, to play, of course. Okay, so I've heard about this Godan stuff. I have no idea what that is, so I guess we're gonna start learning about that. The pattern works for this one verb by coincidence, but it fails for all other bu verbs. So do I need to know what Godan verbs are and bu verbs? Japanese verbs are split into three main classes. Okay, we're gonna take some notes on this. This seems interesting. So Godan are U verbs. Most verbs, they end in u, ku, su, tsu, nu, bu, mu, and ru. Ichidan end in ru, or iru, or eru. Okay. So those are Godan verbs, which is a type of... Okay, so bu verbs are a type of Godan verbs. So we're going to take some notes on this. So cool. So if I pick... So kyomi bukai means interesting. Things have kind of been moved a little bit when I was zooming in and out. Let's see. Okay, so kyomi bukai means interesting. Where is kyomi bukai? Here. So we just need this color to match. Cool. Now, manabi is the noun learning. O sagashite. So let's focus on this manabi. We'll put that here. Maybe here. Manabu is to learn. It's a godan verb, meaning since it ends in bu. Let's look at all of the endings here. Golly, that's a lot of them. So put that here. And so just explain how manabu becomes manabi. That's all I really want to know at the moment. Okay, so manabu means to learn. To become manabi, the act of learning, taking the stem of the verb and adding an I. Oh, so you just remove the U to get the stem? Ah, okay. Is that the case for all godan verbs? Remove U, add I to go from verb to noun. Okay, we just found something pretty cool. So to get the stem of a godan verb, and of course that makes sense because you can't remove bu, for example, for a godan verb because some of them end in nu or tsu or su or ku or mu or ru. So the only thing they have in common is that they end in a u. So to get the stem of a godan verb, you remove u to turn it into a noun, i.e. the act of doing the verb, you add an I. Now, go means 5, and ichi means 1. So what is going on with goldan and ichi dan? So goldan means 5 levels. The stem of a godan verb changes through all 5 vowel sounds when conjugated. The stem's final consonant B stays, but the vowel changes through. Okay, so let's take some more notes. So goldan means 5 levels. Ichi dan means 1 level. Okay, so I think we just need to take some general notes here. And we'll put that in black. So goldan verbs. Goldan means 5 levels. Ichidan means 1 level. There are goldan verbs, ichidan verbs, and the 2 irregular verbs, suru and kuru. put that here. Goldan verbs are called that for how they change for each of the 5 vowels. So that's the part I don't really get. So let's go back to that. Explain the 5 vowels thing for Godan. Okay, so Godan means 5, Dan means level. A Godan verb's stem can attach to all 5 vowels across its different conjugations. The stem manab. So B is the last consonant of the stem. Watch how the vowel after the stem changes. Okay, so the negative form is manabanai. Noun or mas form is manabi masu. Oh, so there's even golly. It's there's informal and formal mas for like nouns. Conditional is manebeba, and the imperative or command manabo. Wait, can I? Okay, so asobu is to play. If I want to say that someone like not play, then it would be asobanai. Asobanai? That's crazy. We're using grammar. And then it's like asobi is the act of playing. And it's informal, while asobimas is the act of playing formal. Okay, so asobi is a noun, not formal or informal. And then asobimas is a verb. It describes the act of playing. Asobi ni ikimasu. Okay, we're getting a little bit too bogged down, I suppose. Yeah, that's awesome. I suppose the main thing is, so each vowel has one use for Goldan verbs for the endings. I think this is actually huge. So up is anai is just not. I turns it into a noun. Imas is polite present, polite future. U is dictionary form, fine, we know that. E is conditional. Maneba, manebeba, manebeba, manebeba. And then O plus U is volitional. Which of the 5 stems, rank the 5 stems in importance? Okay, so the noun form and the polite form, you use this constantly. Negation, dictionary form. So the I stem is the most important, then negation, then the dictionary form. I'm not going to focus on these two for now. Yeah. Simple recommendation for beginners. Asobi is to play, or the act of playing. Imasu. Yeah, sorry. So you're completely right, because that's what we saw with the E. Because asobi is the act of playing, which is the noun, but then you also have the E for the imas, which is the polite form. I'll just thank you so much for pointing that out. So I has two uses. A has one. So explain the imasu. Is that ongoing for the noun? Because I remember, where was it? Miskete mas. This imasu, imas. Now, of course, mitsukeru might be. Wait. Is mitsukeru a ichidan verb? Okay. So conjugation. I might try and write an article or something about this verb conjugation stuff. It's quite difficult. So let's try and summarize what we've learned. Maishu doyobi. This means weekly. This is Saturday. So this is like every Saturday. And then this is morning. And the no is turning this noun into an adjective. So it's like every Saturday morning. She, because kanojo means she or her, like it's in the pronouns. It can also mean girlfriend, but it's like context dependent. We're not talking about boyfriends or girlfriends. So it's she. Wa is the topic marker. And then tsugi no boken is next adventure. Ya, kyomibukai manabi is to learn. O sagashite. So this is searching for. And then, of course, kyomibukai is like fascinating or interesting. It's an adjective which needs to describe something. So this is probably another marker. So then it's like Tsukino Boken. So she's just searching for her next adventure. Let's see this whole sentence. Every Saturday morning, she spends hours exploring the shelves, searching for her next adventure or something interesting to learn. Where is shelves and hours in this sentence? Break down the whole thing. Oh, of course. We still have this nanjikan mo tana o arukimasu. arukimawarimasu. Okay, so I think what I might do is stop here with all of the grammar because it's a little bit, yeah is a particle basically meaning such as, etc. of the sort. I see. I think there's only so much grammar that I can like absorb at the moment. So I think what I might do is stop with the grammar for today and then continue on the next stream and kind of try and finish up this one sentence. Because there's, with this Goldan and Ichidan, quite a lot of concept. But just to kind of end the stream, I think I'll do one more round of kanji just to practice. Because I do like learning the kanji as well. So let's give that one more go. So I'm gonna handwrite my answers, apply random ordering, and give this a go. So supermarket in Japanese, well, that's supa. And by the way, Pei LMAO, thank you so much for all of your advice and the stuff you were teaching me. Really appreciate that. So supa is katakana, it's a loan word. So this is ha, we apply handakuten to get supa. Ah, that was silly. There's a dash at the end. I should not try and multitask. I'm not so great at that. So this is su, pa, cool. And then hospital, well, that's byoin. Doi tashimashite, which means you're welcome. Arigato. I think even doi tashimashite does not have kanji, is that correct? So we can go to the phrases section of Lingo Command, and I think it's under essential phrases. Let's see. Yeah, here, you are welcome. So if you write that, view that in hiragana, katakana, and kanji, this is indeed just hiragana. Cool. So byoin, let's go over that kanji. So there are 10 strokes, and it's actually, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, so that's the kanji of the reading of byo, and then the kanji of the reading of in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no. 4, 5, 6. What am I doing? So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So let's clean up the shape here a little bit. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Now this line is going down too far, so I'm just going to write it one more time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's recognizable. So this is he, we apply dakuten to get B, we put a yun combination there, then we write a U, put an I there, and an in there. For total byoin. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's see. Panya. Is there any features that you would like to see? Is it like that the vocabulary is a bit too simple? Yeah, any feedback would be much appreciated. Okay, so here, this is ha, we apply handakuten to get pa. Then this is an N. And then here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Thank you so much. By the way, I wanted, because I didn't want to, what is it called? Make it misleading. So initially I had a monetization plan where it was like $10 a month or $80 a year. But I was noticing that, because I also want just people to use the app. So I guess what I'm thinking now at the moment is to basically have a free tier where everyone can use any part of the app, but that there will be some ads. And then if a user wants an ad-free experience, that they can then upgrade to get the ad-free experience. So just kind of wanted to mention that. But I haven't coded the part for the ads yet. So just wanted to give that disclaimer, I suppose. Now, station is, so I think historically there were horses at the station before there were cars. And so in this word, you just write the horse kanji and then add these 4 strokes at the end. But I think that would make more sense as a kind of monetization model where there would be some ads, because then basically anyone, even if they can't afford the paid tier, they can still use the app. Okay, so Toshokan has 3 kanji. So this is the first one with the reading of to. This has a reading of sho, and then this is the kanji with the reading of kan. I think it basically means building, house, castle, something like that. So of course it makes sense that that would be, because a library is a type of building, so that kind of makes sense, right? So this is to, this is sho. What am I doing here? 1, 2, 3, kan. Sounds like a good idea, maybe even some premium features behind the paywall, but all in due time, I suppose. Yeah, so I've basically experimented with a lot of different monetization models, because what I had earlier was, for example, some of the topics would have a lock icon. Konnichiwa. Hi there. O genki desu ka? Okay, so hotel is hoteru. Hoteru. And that's a loan word, so we're just going to use katakana. Ho te. I'll almost start writing ru in hiragana, but of course we want to write it like this. Hoteru. And then school, well, that's gakko. And we learned something interesting, because the kanji, like for manabi, was this as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In any case, we then write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so this has a reading of ga, and it's kind of interesting because we have this sokon here at the end of the kanji, which I've not really seen before. So okay, that looks correct to me, so we'll give that a pass, and then we'll proceed on to cinema. Cinema. Just writing the English again. This is eigakan. And the kanji for that. Yeah, okay, so this is eigakan. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here it's our old friend that we've seen over and over. It's a little bit fast. I think as well, because I'm still a beginner, like rushing the kanji, it always goes wrong. So let's write this neatly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Cool. So we'll zoom out. So this has a reading of 8. This has a reading of ga. And then this has a reading of kan. For a total of eiga kan. Nice. That pass. And then we're just on to restaurant. So this is a loan word. So we're just going to write re, su, to, ra, n. And then park. Park is koen. And the kanji for that, it's there are 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This has a reading of ko, and then this has a reading of n. Koen. Cool. So, oh, why did I not save my grade? That was so silly. Because of course we have this vocabulary score basically here. This basically keeps track of all your grades for any configuration of quizzes that you do. So for example, this shows your grades for when you do random ordering from English to Japanese with hiragana, katakana, and kanji while you handwrote your answers. And so if I saved, it would have showed 100% there. So silly mistake that I forgot to do that. Now, I just want to do verbs one more time, and I'd like to, for once, get 100% on this. Let's see. So I have actually done that once before, but we'll try and redo that. So to see is miru. Miru. The kanji for that looks like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That has a reading of mi. Ru. Hi there. So you can learn Japanese on Lingo Command at the moment. It's essentially free to use. I'm experimenting with like monetization models, but there might be like some ads that I'll place in the future. So this is mitsukeru. And so the kanji with the reading of mi, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, at the moment there are also like basically no ads. So please feel free to check out the website and learn Japanese that way. We also have a study guide. So this basically just guides you step by step what to learn in what order. So hopefully that answers your question. So this has a reading of mi. And I think actually you've left some comments, so I think I answered it there as well. Hopefully you were able to read those. And no, I'm not Indian. So the kanji, so in Japanese, to find is mitsukeru. This is the kanji here with the reading of mi, and then we write tsukeru here. So let's submit that. That looks correct to me. And then we'll proceed to the next question. So this is 理解する. And so the kanji of the reading of ri, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so I mean, that's the amount of time. I suppose it depends on you. The more time you invest, the faster you're going to learn. But of course, you also don't want to burn yourself out. So what I'd recommend is, you want to invest the amount of time that you think you could reasonably maintain. And also just about you, are you a complete beginner, or have you already studied some Japanese? Okay, so the next kanji has a reading of kai, and it looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ri kai suru. So to be temporary is iru. This has no kanji, so we're just going to write iru, like so. And then to speak or talk, well, that's hanasu. And the kanji for that. So there's this pattern of 7 strokes that kind of pops up over and over for the kanji for verbs. It's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this kanji is a reading of hana. So let's just write that. So this is ha, na, and then we have su here for a total of hana su. And yeah, that looks correct to me. So we'll give that a check. Okay, so strokes are also correct. So we'll give that a pass and proceed to the next question. So to O in Japanese, well, that's shina ke ru ba. And Samarth, just to point out one other thing that I've personally noticed that kind of helps me is what you want to do is you kind of want to challenge yourself by putting yourself in a situation where your knowledge is going to be tested. So do something like a quiz, try reading a passage, but you don't just want to keep consuming information. I think when you put yourself in a situation where you actively have to recall some information, I find that's what helps me learn. Shina kereba. Of course, everyone's different, but that would be my personal advice. So to call, that's yobu. And the kanji for that, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like so. And this is a reading of yo. And then this is fu. And we apply dakuten to get bu for a total of yobu. The next one here is dekiru, but in the back of my mind, I'm worried about this to know information because I've always gotten this wrong. So hopefully today's the day that I can get this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was this again? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this has a reading of shi. We put ru there. Shiru. Let's see. Oh god, we were so close. Just gotta swap them around. Okay, almost. So let's go back here. So 4 or 5 years, I want to go N2 or N3. I'm currently preparing for a competitive exam. So like I can invest 10 to 15 minutes a day for this year. And after that, I see your situation. So I think the best thing you can do is just try it out. And, you know, if there are loads of resources available. I so far am making a lot of updates to try and improve the app. So of course, if there's any feedback on ways that I can improve, I'm always eager to make those adjustments. So to want in Japanese, well, that's hoshi. So let's write that first in Romaji. So this is hoshi. Hoshi. So the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. So this has a reading of ho. And I think also one thing that you can do if you, you know, try and like as well, like listen to podcasts or something like that. That might be useful. So kuru looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got a reading of ku, this kanji. And then put a ru there in hiragana. And then to have, well, that's motsu. And that kanji has 9 strokes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. So to have is motsu. And then to make, well, that's tsukuru. So let's see. The kanji with the reading of tsuku, it looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this has a reading of tsuku. And then we have ru here. And then to read, well, that's yomu. And I think I can get the kanji this time. So of course, we start off with this kind of radical that we've seen over and over. It's got a total of 7 strokes. And then here it's 8, 9, 10. This 10th stroke is more narrow than the 8th. And it's 11, 12, 13, 14, leaving this gap here. So this has a reading of yol. And then we just put mu here in hiragana for a total of yomu. And that looks correct to me. So we've got 14 strokes indeed. So let's give that a pass and proceed to the next question. So to give is ageru. Ageru. And this only has hiragana. So this is a, that's ke. And then when you apply dakiten, that's these 2 marks. K becomes G. So ke becomes ge. And then this is ru. So it's ageru. And then to do, well, that's suru. Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing, so it's free to use at the moment. So I think what I would recommend is just try out the app and see if you like it. And hopefully it will help. But yeah, best of luck with your studies, Samarth. Sorry, it's a little bit difficult to multitask because this Japanese is quite tricky. So here, these are the first 2 strokes, and then here we just get this pattern that we've seen over and over, 7 strokes here. But what I want to do is kind of clean up the shape here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this kanji is a reading of Shin. But yeah, I mean, just a little bit about the app, I suppose. The way that I've built it is basically to try and speed up the learning, especially for like the beginner steps. So like when you're doing hiragana, katakana, etc., or like learning vocabulary, as well as kanji. But of course, I'm also the founder of the app. So what I would recommend is it's free to use at the moment. So just give it a go, and hopefully it will help you like it has me so far. And so here we see this set of 7 strokes once again, but here it's not a radical, it's like the whole kanji. It's better to be realistic. I just need you to know that getting to N2 is not easy. 2,200 hours. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Pei LMAO, because that's one thing that I noticed was, indeed, they say it takes about 2,200 hours to reach, and the website is lingocommand.com, to answer your question, TKTTO6. So Japanese, indeed, is just a very difficult language to learn. I think it's a bit easier if you know Chinese, because then at least you know the kanji. But it's quite a long process. So it's just one of those things where consistency and hard work will pay off. So here we have 9 strokes in total for the kanji with the reading of ta. So let's write that down. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This has a reading of ta. And then here we're going to write he. We're going to apply dakuten. H becomes B, so he becomes be. And then we'll put ru here for a total of taberu. Taberu. And so this does indeed have 9 strokes. And then we're left with to put on. So to put on is oku. And that has, I think, 13 strokes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to write this slightly more neatly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. So that's the kanji with the reading of o. And I'm quite thirsty, so I'm just going to take out. Oh my god. Sorry. I got this completely mixed up. What I wrote here is to place, whilst this is tsukeru. So of course this is wrong. Let me just write that. Where is it? To place. So this is oku, which is what I was writing. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This has a reading of oku. Okay, fantastic. So that was a shame. Now, let's come back to sleep later. Let's start with to arrive. So this one is kuru. And I did some research on like verbs and stuff earlier. So apparently this, as well as suru, is like an irregular verb in Japanese. But in any case, the verb has this kanji. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has a reading of ku. And then we put ru there. But the shape is a little bit off. So let's try and improve that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks a bit better. Ku, ru. Okay, that looks good. So to go in Japanese, that's iku. How often do I usually get chatters like this? You know, there are all types of people join the stream. So to go, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One thing that's also been very helpful is, I get some native speakers on the stream that will sometimes guide me, and they're like, oh, this stroke looks a bit off, or watch out for this or that. And then as well, sometimes like complete beginners will join and they'll ask for some advice, or like what am I doing? And so to sleep in Japanese, that's neru, and the kanji I think looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gosh, what is this? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Could that be it? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now this line goes like that. So this kanji is a reading of ne. So I'll write that here. Ne, ru. Did we just get it? Yeah, that looks correct to me. So, okay, that's 23 out of 25. Now, this was just silly, and this was in the wrong order, but we did get the kanji. It's just these two radicals were kind of swapped. So what I need to remember is the ku comes at the end here, or sorry, the mouth radical. Yeah, well, I'm glad you think so. I try and basically stream quite consistently to kind of learn the Japanese and improve the app as well. So yeah, with that said, let's talk about 1 million. So when you say a million in Japanese, that's 100 lots of 10,000. That's how you would say it. So 100 in Japanese, well, that's hyaku. And then man. So man on its own is ichiman. Sorry, 10,000 on its own is ichiman. But when you have something in front, it's just man. So 1 million is hyakuman in Japanese. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's just 6 strokes, I think it's that. And then the kanji with the reading of man is this one. So let's see. This has a reading of hyaku. And then this has a reading of man. Oh, fantastic. So this indeed has 6 strokes. That looks correct as well. So give this a pass and we'll proceed to the next question. So this is kind of straightforward, right? Because we literally just saw what 100 was. It's this kanji with 6 strokes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has a reading of hya. Now, of course, we want to make this ya half size. So this becomes not hiya, but hya, a blended syllable. That's called a yun combination. Cool. And then 6 in Japanese, well, that's roku. The kanji for that is, I think 5 strokes. No, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite happy with the shape. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks better. And this has a reading of ro, ku. Okay, that looks fine. And then we have ichi, which is how you would say 1 in Japanese. And this kanji is very complicated. It's that. And this has a reading, of course, of ichi. 2 is equally complicated. It's this. Of course, pay attention to make your second stroke a bit wider than the first. By the way, I'm just to kind of point this out, 3, so this was 1, this is 2, that's 3. So of course, like the number of lines up until 3 kind of shows what the number is. So 3 is sun, and it looks like this. So it's like one line here. This one's slightly more narrow, and then the third one I think is the widest. And this is a reading of sun. Notice that I'm not writing it like this. I'm keeping this gap here because when you handwrite sa, you leave a gap. So okay, so that is a reading of sun. Notice the third stroke is indeed the widest. Now 1,000 in Japanese, well, that's sen, and that looks like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, and that has a reading of sen. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then we put the n here. 4 is yon or shi. There are 2 ways to say this in Japanese. Unfortunately, you can't just put 4 lines like this. It's from here on out, it's a little bit less intuitive. So that's the kanji. And let's write both readings. So this is yon, and then that's shi. And then we've got 100,000. So this, I kind of want to point out something here about how numbers work in Japanese. So, you know, like in English, we've got English here and Japanese there. When you're counting, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13. Well, the third part comes from 3. 14, the 4 part comes from 4. And then 20, well, the 2 part comes from 2. 30, the third part comes from 3. All the way up to 99, basically. So what I'm saying is these are words that are basically combinations of previous numbers that you've heard earlier. But 100, that's like a completely new word that is not a combination of the numbers before it. But then 101, 102, of course, these are words that are combinations of the previous numbers. That works all the way up to 999, and then you get 1,000, right? That's a completely new word in the English language. And that works all the way up to 999,999. And then you just need to know that the next word is a million. But then from a million, you can construct all the way up to 999,999,999. But then you just need to know that the next word is a billion. And Japanese sort of works the same. So in Japanese, you've got a new word in the Japanese language for 100, but then also a new word for 1,000 and for 10,000. So the jumps are different in Japanese than they are in English. So it's 100, 1,000, 10,000, and then it goes straight to 100 million. So basically, in order to count in Japanese, you need to know what this means. So this is hyaku. This is 1,000, which is sen. And then this is ichiman. Now there's some grammar stuff for this ichiman. Sometimes you take out the ichi. And then 100 million, that's oku. And so let's say that you want to say 100,000 in Japanese. Oh, well, that's the thing that we're picking here. I'm gonna, yeah, let's pick 100,000. So of course you could say that, you know, if you don't know the theory, you could say, oh, hyaku sen. So hyaku is 100, sen's 1,000. But that's actually incorrect. The way that you do this with Japanese is you ask yourself, from this set of units, what's the largest number that fits into 100,000? So that's actually 10,000. 10,000 still fits in there. Clearly 100 million does not. So you start off by writing the 10K. And then you ask yourself, okay, by what number do I need to multiply this in order to get 100,000, and that's by 10. And so the way that works in Japanese is you write the large unit on the right, so that's man here, and then you just multiply that by what number in order to get the number you're trying to aim for, which is 100,000. So 100,000 in Japanese is just juman. So yeah, with that said, just kind of wanted to cover that. So ju is this. That's the kanji for 10. And then the kanji for 10,000 is this. And this has a reading of, let's write this down. So this is shi with dakuten becomes ji. This is a half-sized u. Put a u there. And then this is man, juman. And then we have 9. So 9 in Japanese, well, that's Q and ku. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, like so. And so let's just write the readings here. So this is ki, q. So this is a yun combination, q, and then we just put ku here at the end. 7 is nana, or shichi. So nana I use when counting. Shichi, for example, is used in shichigatsu, which means July. Of course, July is the 7th month of the year, so it literally means 7th month, I suppose. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2. So let's just write the furigana, shi, chi. And then we have 8. So 8 is hachi. So that's 1, 2. Ha, chi. Now 100 million is going to be ju oku. So oku means 10 million. So this is 10 lots of 10 million. And the kanji for that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. So this has a reading of ju. And then this has a reading of oku. Now, 5 is go in Japanese, and the kanji for that looks just like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is go. And then 10 we've had earlier, right? That we've seen that. We've seen 100 million. Oh, did I just write a billion here? Ju oku is 1 billion, of course. Hi there. So yeah, my bad. That was a mistake. I should have just written oku. But let's proceed. So 10 in Japanese, well, that's ju. And the kanji for that looks like this. So it's 1, 2. Very simple. And it's reading, right? Is shi. You apply dakuten to get ji. And you follow up with that half-sized u. Add a u there. So this is not ju, it's ju. And then 1 billion, that's what I was writing earlier. That's ju oku. So this is the kanji for 10. And then the kanji for 100 million is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this has a reading of ju. That has a reading of oku. Sorry for the poor handwriting. And then 0, there are like 3 ways you can write this. So the first one is rei. And then you've got maru. And then you've got, so let's write this more clearly. So you've got rei, you've got zero, and then you've got maru. So this kanji here, rei, it's looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is a reading of rei. And then we're going to write zero. That's clearly a loan word, right? So you're just going to write, and 저랑 game, I'll respond to your question about the hiragana. So this is se in katakana. You apply dakuten to turn S into Z. So se becomes ze. And then you just write ro, like so. So this is zero. And then finally, so let's just put an arrow there. That's that. And then maru is this kanji. So it's literally the same as the one for 9. But you just stick this dash here at the end. And so that has a reading of maru. Maru. So let's submit our answer. So, okay, we can see here that these 13 strokes match. This is our katakana. That's also matching. And then 10 million is just, so this is the final one. Let me just super quickly do this one. So this is, I think 100 lots of 10,000 is how you'd say this in Japanese. So you'd write hyaku. No, because 100 lots of 10,000 is a million. So you'd need 1,000 lots. So this is sen man. And the kanji for that is just, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this has a reading of sen. That has a reading of man. And then I can get on to the question from Charan. Now, 10,000 is just ichiman. It's this, basically. Let's not waste time with that. So you were asking about konnichiwa. Ohayo. Indeed, that would be 10 million, senman. Well done. So you were asking about how to remember hiragana, and I can talk about that a little bit. So this is like the tool that I built that helped me. So one thing that I've noticed was kind of struggling to remember all of these kanji or all of these hiragana. And so what I like to do is basically do a quiz that you just loop over and over and over again. So for example, this is when you go from, also you wrote 1010. What does that mean? So basically, this just randomly scrambles all 46 hiragana characters. Oh, that's bad. Okay, let me lock in a little bit. So basically, I think you get the point. It's this way you actively test your knowledge. And you can just keep scrambling this quiz. So for example, let's go back to the top. You can refresh this and reapply random ordering, and then it just re-scrambles it. Now, of course, trying to do all 46 in one go is a little bit overwhelming. So one thing that you can do is you could say like, oh, I just want to practice, let's say the first 10, right? So what I just did was I said select characters, hide the rest. So now you've got this table of 10 hiragana that you can study. And of course, at a click of a button, now you've got a quiz with only these 10 questions. And then when you apply random ordering, you can go and study those. So that's one way that you can learn the hiragana. Now, of course, this is just going from Japanese to English. But what you can also do is you could say, I'm going to swap the languages and I'm going to handwrite them. So now, what you can do is you can practice like writing them. So for example, ka is 1, 2, 3, like this. So then you can submit your answer and you can even check the stroke order, like so. So this is a. Well, that's a little bit sloppy. Let me try and write that slightly more neatly. So that's if you wanted to practice in up characters, by the way. I don't really know, like, should I Google this? Hiragana tenten? What is that? Ah, Dakuten and Handakuten are called tenten. I wasn't aware, so I just called them Dakuten and Handakuten. But of course, so that's what you want to study. So I'll explain that. So I think the main thing with Dakuten and Handakuten to keep in mind is this table here. So for example, if you take ka, ki, ku, ke, and ko, when you apply these two little marks in the top right, that turns k into g. So ka becomes ga, ki becomes gi, ku becomes gu. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to study all 25 of these, right? What you really want to do is you want to study this top table, and so that you know, if you know all 46 basic hiragana characters, the rest kind of becomes trivial. You just need to know k becomes g when you apply this mark, s becomes z, t becomes d, h becomes b, and then when you add the circle, so that's handakuten, h becomes p. So if you just know these 25, if you know these 5 rules, that makes it kind of straightforward. So I'll show you one more time, I suppose. If we go to hiragana with dakuten and handakuten, we can take the quiz. We can even like handwrite it, apply random ordering. So let's take a look at this. So as you may know, this is he in hiragana. And when you apply handakuten, so that's one of those 5 rules, h becomes p, right? So handakuten is the circle. And then you're kind of off to the races. Same here with pu, right? We know that h turns into p. So you just need to ask yourself, okay, I just need to write hu and then apply this handakuten mark. But of course, hu doesn't really exist. It's actually fu. This is like one little exception. So you would just write fu, and then you would apply dakuten, and you're done with that. Take, for example, ka. So we know k goes to g. So ga is basically just ka with the dakuten mark. So now you just need to write ka and then apply the 2 marks. If that makes sense, so let's write that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've just studied 20 in hiragana and 15 in katakana. Well done. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers your question. Okay, so this one is du pronounced zu. Oh, this one's always kind of frustrating. What was it again? So normally you would write su. What was su again in hiragana? So this is sa, this is shi, this is su, this is se, and then this is so. So if you write this is su, and then when you apply dakuten, you get zu. But that's not what this is asking. This is actually slightly different. I'm just trying to recall. Yeah, it's ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Now, when you apply dakuten on this cluster of 5, you get da, ji pronounced you would get G pronounced as, what was it? So tsu, I think, becomes du, pronounced as zu. This becomes de, and that's do. So basically what we want is, I think, we just want to write tsu, and then apply dakuten. Okay, got there. How to pronounce? Yeah, so that's basically what it's saying here is in Romaji, it's written as du, but you pronounce this as zu. So if you want the pronunciation,
あぎ、あぎ、あぎ、
oh, that doesn't quite sound correct. But yeah, it's basically zu. Let me just take a super quick note of that. Du pronounced zu in hiragana sounds off in quiz. I'll fix that after the stream. So yeah, I hope that kind of explains that. So for example, this is ko. You apply dakuten, k becomes g, so ko becomes go, right? And then po, well, that's you'd write ho. So this is ho. And then you would write han dakuten, that's this circle. H becomes p, so ho becomes po. And then this one, that's what we spoke about earlier, right? So this is su. You apply dakuten, these 2 marks, to get zu. And then, by the way, for go, so I wrote it here. These 2 dakuten marks, they actually go here. So their placement is not always intuitive. So here you're going to write ku. And then I think actually the 2 diacritical marks are inside. Yeah. Da, so you're just going to write ta and then add the 2 marks. Okay, so it's a little bit above there, but it's definitely recognizable. Give that pass. And then here you're going to write se. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to add these 2 dakuten marks, right? Because S goes to Z. And what you definitely want to do is you want to pay attention to the stroke order. So this is indeed the first stroke. That's the second. That's the third. 4, 5. Does that answer your question, Charan game? And yeah, I guess while we're here, let's just wrap this up. So this is ki. We apply dakuten to get gi. Now, you may have noticed that I write a gap here. That's because for the handwritten version of ki, you write a gap, whilst when it's typed, you don't. And then here we have pa. So we're going to do the same thing here. So we know that when you add the circle, H goes to P. So you just basically say pa is ha with circle on top. And then the question is, what's ha? Well, ha is just this, right? And then you just add the circle. So let's write that neatly. That's the job done. So G, this one is a little bit confusing because S goes to Z. But of course we have sa, shi, su, se, and sol. So when you apply dakuten, you get za, and this is not like ZHI. Okay, it's actually G, zu, ze, and zol. So this S to Z rule, it's great, but there are a couple of exceptions. Now, you were asking why use the circle. That's a great question. So this is a perfect example. So when ha becomes ba, when you add dakuten on top. So this is ha. And then with the 2 marks, you get ba. Now, basically, this is the way I'm going to explain it. So you have ha, hi, fu, he, and ho. When you add dakuten, you get ba, bi, bu, be, and bo. So this fu is an exception, right? It's not hu, it's fu. So fu becomes bu. Now, what you can also do is you can take the same cluster of 5. Let's write it here. So it's ha. We'll scroll down. So this is ha, hi, fu, he, and ho. And then when you apply handakuten, that's the circle, because you're like, well, why use the circle? You get something completely different. You get pa, pi, pu, pe, and po. So do you kind of understand? When you add the 2 marks, H becomes B. When you add the circle, H becomes P. And you only apply the circle on H. So you wouldn't do, it only goes on ha, hi, fu, he, and ho. So yeah, with that basically said, we just need to write ha, and then add dakuten. Yeah, you got it, Charon game. So then here, we just write he, and then apply dakuten so that H becomes B. Now here we have D pronounced as G. So this is actually G, whilst this is always a bit of a nightmare. So let's think this through. So we have ta, chi, tsu, te, to. And then if we apply dakuten on this cluster, we get D, right? So this becomes da, D pronounced G. And then this is zu, or sorry, this is du. So this is D pronounced as G. This is du pronounced as zu. And then this is simple again. This is de and this is do. So there are a couple of exceptions. But yeah, of course, I know you Charon game, you want to wait, but of course this is all available on the website for free. So you can view all of this material there. But yeah, if you have any questions, please state them in the chat. So let's answer this question. So D pronounced G. Basically, all we need to do is write ta, chi. So we write chi like so. And then you're going to apply dakuten. So this becomes D pronounced G. Yeah, so this is lingocommand.com. That's also the name of the channel. So yeah, feel free to check it out. So this is so. We're going to apply dakuten to get zo. Here we're going to write sa. S goes to Z, of course. So we're going to write the dakuten marks here. Here we're going to write hi. And then we're going to apply handakuten. That's these 2 circles. This is fu. Now, of course, fu is in the cluster of H, right? So we have ha, hi, fu, he, ho. And so we need fu. We apply dakuten to get bu. Here we're going to write to. When you apply dakuten, T goes to D, so this becomes do. B, well, that's just he from before, but we're going to apply dakuten this time instead of handakuten, so the 2 marks instead of the circle. And then here we're going to write ke. We're going to apply dakuten, K goes to G, this becomes get. And then this is te. Let's write that a little bit more neatly. And then we add the 2 diacritical marks here to get de. And then finally we write ho. Add the 2 marks here. So let's submit that. And there's one more thing that I want to point out. So basically there's a one-to-one mapping between so the Spanish, French, and German is not on the same level as the Japanese, but it's available there as well. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit about katakana, because that's the next writing system. And the useful thing to learn here is that for every single hiragana, there's a corresponding katakana. So this is a, that's a. So there's just a different symbol, but there's a one-to-one mapping. Does that make sense? And then if you go here, this dakuten concept, it also applies for katakana. So do you remember earlier for hiragana, we knew K goes to G, S goes to Z, T goes to D, H goes to Ba, H goes to P. Sorry, or H goes to B and H goes to P. So all of these rules apply in exactly the same way for katakana as they do for hiragana. So if you knew all of the rules for hiragana, you can apply them basically just immediately to katakana as well. So just to kind of demonstrate the point, this is the quiz for katakana with dakuten and handakuten. Lifetime, bro, daily. Yeah, so I try and live stream like once a day or so, usually in the morning, to answer your question. So let's give this a go. So we'll swap the languages. So now our quiz is in English, and we do it in we submit our answer in Japanese. So we'll handwrite our answer. We'll apply random ordering that scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. And so here, it's asking, okay, what's the katakana for bu? So this is something you'll just have to study, but this is the katakana for fu. Now, fu is in the cluster of H. So you have ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Sorry, I'm not from India. So what you can do is you can check the previous live streams and see what time they're there. In any case, so this is fu, and then the marks also look exactly the same in hiragana as they do in katakana. So this is fu, you apply dakuten to get bu, right? And then here you're gonna write, so this is to, this is to. We know T goes to D, so you just apply the 2 marks and it's a job done. Here you're gonna write su, right? Because we know S goes to Z, you just apply the dakuten marks, boom. So this one is ku, K goes to G, so you apply the dakuten marks, boom. And then this one's kind of interesting. So as you may notice, this was ku and in katakana, and this, it's ke. So the way that I kind of remember is that they're very similar, but this extends further to the right. And of course, the word extends in English starts with an E. Ke ends in an E. So that's kind of how I try and remember that. So this extends to the right. So now we have ke, and then we just apply dakuten to get the G. So this is now ge.
Atori. Atori.
Okay, so I think there's generally just a bug with this audio button, so I need to go fix that. Now, let's continue with this. So this is he. In hiragana as well as in katakana, it's the same symbol, so that makes our life pretty simple. Then we have D pronounced as G. So we know that T goes to D. So we have ta, chi, tsu, te, to. And then when you apply dakuten, you get da, di, du, de, and do. And of course, these two have different pronunciations. So if we zoom out, this is pronounced as G. This is pronounced as zu. So to answer this question, we just need chi in katakana. So let's clear this. So it's 1, 2, 3. Is that correct? But I don't think it is, I think it's actually kind of curved like this in katakana. And then you apply dakuten. Yeah, fantastic. How can I improve talking skills? Yeah, so that's something that I'm sort of working on in the app at the moment. So, by the way, this is ki. Then you apply dakuten, you get gi. Let's just finish this quickly. So, ko in katakana is like this. You apply dakuten. Zo, it's what is Zol? So Sol, it looks like it's one. Oh golly, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. I think that's just about right. And then we add Dakuten here. So this is Sol. S goes to Z, right? So Sol becomes Zol. There we go. And we can check the stroke order like so. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so one thing, if you're wondering about pronunciation, this is another feature that I've added to the app. You can basically, this is kind of a work in progress. So you can click over here, tori. So the first time it's like calling the backend, so that might take a while, but basically it gives you a pronunciation score per word. Right, so it says 96%. Neko. So you can go through this list of vocabulary and check your pronunciation. But yeah, I think with speaking, the best thing you can do is, I suppose, like talk to a native speaker. But that's easier said than done, probably. So in any case, this is se. We apply Dakuten to get ze. Here we need shi. Now what is shi? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. P is he. And then we're gonna, H goes to P when you apply Handakuten. Handakuten is a circle. There we go. Now we just write ha. Ha looks like this. And then, so what I just wrote was pa. What we want is ba, like that. This is he. We apply Dakuten to get B. Da is ta. Now the question is, what is ta in katakana? It's like that. We apply Dakuten because T goes to D. Ho, we just write po. Sorry, for po we write ho, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We can see that little curve there. Ga is, what is ga? It's ka. Now, this is what ka looks like in hiragana. In katakana, there is no mark there. And then you just add the 2 notes here to turn the K into a G. Here, you're going to write he and apply Handakuten. This is going to be tachi tsu. So tsu is that in katakana. Then you apply the diacritical mark there. This is te. T goes to D when you apply the mark. This is ha. Apply Handakuten to get pa. This is fu. Apply Handakuten to get pu. Oh, sorry, what am I doing? This is, I just wrote fu in hiragana, so classify that as incorrect. Now, sa, I think it's 1, 2, 3. So that's sa. S goes to Z when you apply Dakuten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. And then bo. So what is this? This is ho. And then ho is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I think that's a useful thing, is if you understand the pattern for hiragana with Handakuten and Dakuten, the same concepts apply to katakana. Now, I think this is probably the perfect place to end the stream. So I'd like thank everyone so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff if you want to support the channel. That would also support me in continuing to develop lingocommand.com. That's the website that we've been using today. And it also comes with an accompanying iOS app. So that's basically the exact same functionality, but in the form of a mobile app for iPhone. And it's also available as iPad. But Everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next live stream. Take care. Bye-bye. See you around. Pay LMAO. See